So I was getting just a little bit of smoke up underneath the dash, and it didn't have a smell to it like burning, so I turned the defroster on, and you can see that it is it's fogging up my window. That is a sign of a heater core leak. Ugh. Okay, I could bypass that guy if I need to. I'm gonna give him a second here and let him run. He's getting up to temperature. He's about 190. I have no clue if my fuel gauge works. He doesn't have a lot in him. I put 2 more gallon in him. So yeah, right in here I'm sitting in the car with the heat on. Think about that for a minute. It's in the driveway. Boom. Not even out of the garage yet. First problem. I'm gonna go ahead and back up. I can't see crap out of that mirror. This one's pretty good. I would like to adjust that mirror. I don't know if I can do that or not. From this seat. He needs to come in a bunch. So I'm just gonna go out there and move him a little bit. We'll see. Here we go. It is the first attempt to drive Elvira anywhere. I've got my seatbelt on for safety. Hopefully there's not a ball of fire and it gets stuck because it's old too. I've cleaned the windshield. The heater core does not seem to be causing an issue now. Maybe it was just getting hot. I don't know. We'll see. I'm up to operating temperature, so we'll see what she does when she gets some RPM on her. It's a little hot in the car because that window does not go down. This door does not open on the inside. So generally I would say I'm going to start at the switch. But since that door won't open from the inside, I'm going to have to take that panel off here pretty soon. And I'll start inside and see if I'm getting power to the motor and go that route. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll get there. So right now, I'm gonna back out and see if it goes at all. See some smokage coming out from underneath the hood now. So yeah, that's good stuff too. You know, the gas gauge is bouncing around. So let me get her in drive here, and we will pull up here in the shade a little bit, and we'll pop the hood and see what we see. You know, we've made it, 25 feet. And found 2 problems. So, this is called Old Car 101. So, all right, I got the hood open. I'm not seeing anything offhand. So, it very well could just be, all the dust, dirt, and grime. She's dirty. I should have hosed her off maybe. I'm just not seeing much. So, man, don't like that stuff. But anyway, all right, here we go again. All right, we're back at it again. Let's see if we can make it out of the driveway. That's our goal right now. You see these guys and they get this piece of crap out of a field, and in 2 days they drive it across country. I've been working on this thing since September, and I'm just trying to get out of the driveway. Brakes feel okay. Motor sounds good. Transmission sounds good. That was just a little squirrely. That was kind of crazy, to be honest. if I can turn around. I'm gonna go back and double check lug nuts and all that good crap. I'm just gonna go right here. I realize that's not a very exciting end of my journey there, but you know, you got to do what you got to do here. Brakes are definitely feeling better. They're not, I can tell they're not dragging as much. The front tires are really nice, so the goal is to see how the stance is and then decide what size back tires I need. But yeah, the brake is not dragging, so I mean she's coasting really nice. So let me get her pulled up here in the yard, and we'll double check some lug nuts, and then we'll start see if we can take her a little further, you know. And the only problem I have right now is I do have a little rub on these aftermarket wheels, and I'm going to have to get a spacer that's a little bit bigger than what I got. So I'm going to go ahead and see about pulling her square in the garage. She don't like that sharp turn, man. Right there is about as far as I can turn. And the other thing I could do is I could bypass the heater cord for now and see if that takes care of that little bit of moisture look on my windshield. But you know, it hasn't been driven forever. Let's see. Let's just play with it here. It'll be all right. So that was actually, because I've ran this road I don't know how many times, 1 whole mile. Okay, so the left rear was pretty loose. The rest of them were pretty good. So I went ahead and grabbed that breaker bar and socket, and I'm going to double check them in another mile. And but I'm just going to go straight down a mile, and then I'll check them. So let's see how she fires up. Oh. I can live with that. That's not too shabby. All right. I got thinking about that little bit of smoke and stuff. Maybe it's just actually burning primer dust and all. I mean, you've seen how dusty the floorboard was. It's still dusty in some places. So we'll hope that's the problem. That all the smoke was just a smoke show of dust. So. Suspension grumbling just a little bit at me, but you know, everything's been lubed and all that stuff, so it's okay. This seat belt is not the best in the world. Here comes a minivan. We're gonna wait just to make sure he doesn't want to race or nothing, because I'm gonna go right, boom, 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 and you hear it rub just a little bit. Yeah, rub. Hear my brakes just a little bit, not bad, just a little brake noise where they're knocking some rust off and all that stuff. So I mean, really, to seat in brakes, you're supposed to run it up to speed and then hard brake a little bit, and I don't really want to hard brake just yet. It seems to be doing okay. Just take it around the block if it's going well. stop up here in the driveway and we'll double check temperature on each wheel and temperature on each wheel, and then the lug bolts. And I might even leave it play for that. I don't know. We'll see. There's a cranky old woman that lives up here on this corner, and I think she hates me and my loud cars and all that stuff. And I haven't had any loud cars for a long time, so I'll check her driveway out, and that's where I will stop to check things out. I can feel it's dragging just a little bit. I've got just a little brake drag somewhere. I don't know which one, but one of them is dragging. I can hear it now that I've slowed down a little bit. So I'm gonna pull right here. I'm gonna check stuff, and we'll be back. Okay, so the lug nuts are good. The left rear brake is the one that is tight. It is pretty warm in just a mile, so I'm going to sit here for a minute, and then I'm going to see if it'll back out of here. And I mean, it's all new. I'm hoping I just have it adjusted too tight, and we'll go from there. When I go to back up, I'll learn a little bit, because it seems like when brakes get tight and stuck like that, they do a lot better going forward than they do going backwards. So we'll give it a shot here. It seems okay at the moment. Might as well give it hell, right? There was some spinach going there, just a little bit of tire smoke. I think she'll do a burnout. I'm not disappointed with its power and speed. Is it the best? No. Is it the worst I've ever drove? No. So I'm gonna tell you a little story about Redneck Muck. One time I bought a brand new, my first brand new car. It was a 1991 Ford Probe LX. Not even the GT, not even the performance model. 110 horsepower, 5-speed. I don't even think it's the slowest car I ever owned, because let's see here, I had a 1985 Chevette. I'll tell you, I know the slowest car I ever owned. I guarantee it. I had a 1977 Buick Regal, and it was luxury to the hilt. That thing was plush. It was so nice, and had a 231 V6 in it, and that was the most tired, awful V6 in the free world. It just did not like going. So yeah. Yeah, that brake's dragging a little bit, I can tell. It's actually somebody coming out of my driveway, so that's why. But I'll just check it right there. And but yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in the garage here. I'll let this brake cool down, and then I will readjust it and see if it's the brake or the homemade brake drums, because the brake drums are a whole nother story too. But one side's good, and they were made the same, so you know, I think it's just adjusted kind of tight. I had trouble bleeding that out, and I think I adjusted it up pretty snug. So anyway, all right, there is 3 miles under Elvira's belt, and I'll put some more gas in her too, so we can go run around. You can hear it cooking just a little bit. See the smoke? Can you see it? Probably can if you get back here. I don't know. But yeah, she's warm right now. Let's give her a minute. I'm sitting here by the car. I've been under the car. I backed the adjuster off. It still feels tight. So I'm going to see if I can get this drum off and see if I didn't have a spring come off or something, maybe. Hard to say. The other side's working fine, so I don't think it's the rubber hose going from the rear end or anything, so something's odd. You know, I don't know. So right now I'm waiting on the air compressor to finish pumping up so I can pull this wheel off that I've tightened the lug nuts on 3 times. So the drum come off easy enough. I mean, you can see the heat where it was dragging. I don't see anything major wrong. Sorry, bouncing all around there trying to look at stuff. Yeah, I think it's all on there right. I'm going to get a better light on it. And, you know, here where you're supposed to be. 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 That parking brake cable shouldn't be doing anything. I don't know, I might have just had it adjusted too tight. So let me put it back together and see what kind of slack we got. I don't know if I can't really, if I had my tripod out here I could, but my tripod's in the car, so I'm just going to set the drum back on real quick. Okay, it's 100% not rubbing right now. 100%. So, you know, I'm going to put the wheel back on and we'll give it another go and see what she does. And if she hates it, we'll go another round. So if she frees up and rolls good, then I'll just let the automatic adjusters finish their thing and get the brakes where they want them at, and we'll all be good. So anyway, I might have just had it adjusted too tight. When I was trying to get it bleed out, I was struggling with it a little bit. So anyway, there we go. All right, here we go again. Let's see what we got going on this time. Garage doors are a little narrow and they make me just a little bit nervous. This thing's got a little bit of a front end on it. It's starting to cloud up some, and I don't have any wiper blades. So if that is not it, the other thing that it could be is I had to kind of fabricate my brake drums. So by that, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. There's factory brake drums for this thing, and those factory brake drums are $400 for a pair of brake drums. I needed brake drums. So it's got the same bolt pattern as a Ford. So I called a buddy of mine that has a 63 Galaxy, and I said, hey, can I borrow a back brake drum off your car? He said sure. So I borrowed a back brake drum off his car. I checked it. It fit pretty well perfect. So I was like, okay. So that's what I ordered. And when I got them, I discovered that his were original, had never been changed. And since then, Ford has realized that they can run the same front and back. So his car has clearance for it. This one did not. So I had to modify said brake drum to handle the backing plate on this car. So to do that, I chucked it up in a lathe and I did some measurements, and I was like, all right, this should give me enough clearance, right? So it's possible that one of them doesn't have enough clearance, and that would be the one on the right side. And if that's the case, then I'll have to pull it off and chuck it back in the lathe again and clean it up, or it might be close enough that I can do something else. but we'll see. I mean, she's coasting good right now. I'm gonna pull in the driveway, check the heat of it, because I mean, it is, yeah, she's coasting. She's not dragging. So I did hear some noise when I first started up, but and I mean, she stops right now. She stops right now, so I guess I should have put it in. I mean, I can hear it, but no show. And that steering spacer is real close. It's not way off of being enough. Right there is my max. All right, I'm gonna get out and check it. So it is definitely warmer than the other one, but I think it was already warmer than the other one. So let's just drive it just a little bit and we'll see. And we'll see, all right? I can definitely hear it, and that bugs me just a little bit. But we're gonna go left this time, because I can. And I mean, it could just be the backing plate kind of rusted up on it, because the backing plate does have some rust on it, and it's just not letting that brake move as well as it should. And that is very possible. All that's wrong with it. So I mean, that is a coast. I don't believe she's dragging. If she's dragging, she ain't dragging much. So all right, let's I can just hear it chirping. I don't know if you can hear that on the radio or not, but or on the radio. What's this thing called? The phone. She feels okay. She just got a little play, which they said these are real common to have play in them. They're not the best steering box in the world. So oddly enough, this is kind of funny. I've been a forklift mechanic for years, and recently I've got out of the forklift business, but within the last 3 or 4 years anyway. Anyway, so this particular car, right around 76, 77 when this was made, they ran out of the factory Studebaker steering boxes that they used. So they found a steering box that would bolt up and work, and it come off a forklift. So that's what they use. So it's not got the same ratio as the factory steer box. There are some things you can do to it to make it better. I don't know if I'll ever do those. If I can get by with it and it drives good, then I'm okay with it. And we shall see. I'm going to pull over right here and see how hot everything is and check things out. Hold tight. Yeah, you're good. You're good. All the lugs are tight. She's feeling good. Was no heat in that brake at all, so she's definitely got the power of a 77 Corvette. I'm not sure she was in low gear, to be honest, but you know, she might have been. You know, when you go out on what I like to call shakedown runs, because that's all this is, it's real close to the house, trying things out. I tend to go a little rougher on it than I probably would out on the road, because you know, I don't want to break it away from home. I want to break it close to home. Does that make sense at all? I mean, if you're gonna break it, let's break it where it's easier to get to. You know, I don't want to drive it easy and then that was 60. That was 80. It really feels pretty good. I mean, follows the road just a little bit, pulls maybe just a little bit to the right. Not bad. That could be this road, but no shimmy, no shake. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable. So if it wasn't about to rain, I'd run around and give it some more. But I think I'm gonna pull her in the garage and we'll see about. Maybe I can put this I got a dash pad for up here. I need to clean that up and put that on to cover the little cracks and stuff. It's nothing fancy, but you know, it'll just take care of the little things. The rub on the steering wheel seems to be pretty good, so on the front wheels. So I mean, it's not really affecting me horribly. Just a little here and there. So yeah. That was just a few miles, but hey, a few more miles and a few more miles. I'm satisfied for today. All right. All right, good deal.